The Evolution of Us, brought to you by the London Museum of Natural History, narrated by Sebastian Sedmak. Us. We are human beings. I'm quite sure you'd have known that by now, but I'll be here to remind you. Human beings have grown to be quite notorious. While we remain to further develop, human beings have proven to be the most evolved and intelligent organisms of our time and place. The setting of Earth circa 2016 CE. Our accomplishments are the establishment of dominance in cultivating the land to grow crops, creating a written alphabet, that we've built society and culture off the back of those feats. While humans tell many stories of the dangers of hubris, it can be undeniably said that we are the dominant species on Earth. This is, of course, all thanks to our path on the road of evolution. Evolution itself. Evolution is the theory of change in the heritable traits of the population over the course of generations. It is an excruciatingly slow process that makes progress in the adaptations of organisms through small mutations in the DNA from parent to offspring. What constant displays of evidence show us is that we, and all other forms of life, are products of evolution. It's the tracking of fossils and bone evidence, the display of slow changes over time, and the observances by a specific man by the name of Charles Darwin that led him and us to the conclusion of evolution. The inception of the theory. It was on the back of many scientists that the theory of evolution came to be, but one figure that stands out specifically for his production of evidence that backed his claims was Charles Darwin. His theory supported that from generation to generation, there are slight changes made by the birth for each organism to better acclimate to its environment. Charles Darwin, with his studies in the Galapagos Islands, found that these creatures, without a predator or any necessary food chain, flourished but on slightly varied islands. Darwin found several species of finches scattered along the archipelago. This helped him develop his theory of natural selection, the determining factor of which species evolve and which don't. The evolution of evolutionary theory with conflict. It's rare that a theory ever stands unchallenged. Evolution has been challenged and continues to be. While here in England, evolution is well considered a fact, many of the world is yet to truly be exposed to it. The main counter-belief is creationism, which proclaims that evolution is not what dictates life on Earth, but God. It also claims that species that we see in fossils were simply alike others, but always remained that way after being created when the Bible says we were made. All fossil evidence to a creationist is simply proof that something has gone extinct. The belief remains strained, though, as it does require religious belief to be considered valid. The two parties of biological origins remain at odds, and numerous debates have been held with the interest of further validating their claims. Dawn of the primate. Thanks to our technological ability, we were able to find an approximate date of when primates first began to flourish. Of the 4.5 billion years of Earth's existence, and of 3.5 billion years life has existed here, the primate came into being around 50 to 55 million years ago. Many species have come and gone long before the primate came into being from surviving tree mammals. The very first primate-like creatures were developing near the end of the Mesozoic era and appeared to look more akin to squirrels than ourselves. It was their domesticity held in the trees that led to further evolution and brought us here. Lucy, others, and the missing link. While the theory of evolution is strong as it stands, supported by life as it happens, our knowledge would be nowhere near as great without the help of fossils and bones from the stone. In the recent past, breakthroughs like the findings of Lucy or Salem certainly stand out. These findings have not only exposed to us that the human branch of primates is older than once thought, but also that the missing link is older than we thought. The missing link is a term that refers to a specific species that will bridge the gap between humans and apes. The missing link is yet to be found, and it was once thought that Lucy, the Australopithecus, was that link. Further findings tell us that that isn't so. There's a chance that the missing link may carry back 6 million years ago, when our primate ancestors first chose to explore the ground. Our ancestors. While it is often said that we descended from apes through evolution, that is simply a misnomer. It oversimplifies evolution. The truth is that humans and apes share a common ancestor, which is an earlier primate. It's at one point in time, one generation of our ancestors that decided that walking on the ground would be the wisest for their sake. Not simply one either, but it's generations and generations of our primate ancestors visiting the ground and adapting to the tall grass it beheld. As well as for times in trouble, 2 hind legs offered quicker movement. It's from this adaptation that we truly branched out from our ape relatives. Furthermore, we adapted more cunning, intelligent brains that would help us survive on the new landscape of the ground. Brains that grow one day to behold this information. The Neanderthal. It wasn't forever that we were alone as humans. The human race, just merely around 28 to 40,000 years ago, had its counterpart. As the Homo sapien came into being, there was just one other human race, the Neanderthal. The Neanderthal was a species that lived primarily along the strip of Eurasia, from Spain and France to Kazakhstan. As the Homo sapien came into being, it was not long before the Neanderthals fell into extinction. The Homo sapien was smarter and simply more apt at adapting as a human over its Neanderthal sibling. Even many attempts at crossbreeding were futile, as the mixed children would often die in birth or in child development. The Neanderthal gene quickly diminished after the inception of the Homo sapien, and for the first time, humans remained alone as a species with the Homo sapien. Bipedalism. Bipedalism is a rare form of movement among life where the organism moves with the use of 2 rear limbs, or legs. There's only a few animals that have bipedalism, namely humans, apes, some birds, kangaroos, and a select few of other creatures when they run. Bipedalism has multiple advantages as it gives the suited organism height to scout over areas of high grass, the ability to move faster in more compact settings, and it saves energy by a great deal as opposed to using 4 limbs for movement. These are all viable reasons for a creature to develop this feature. The main accepted theory is that when a select few primates began to walk on 2 legs, that's where the first branch of humans began. The reasoning behind why primates needed to attain these traits is still uncertain, as is the specific primate that did first walk. Brains and thumbs. Besides bipedalism, humans are well acquainted with 2 other unique figures. Those features are expansive brain and opposable thumbs. While there are many contributing traits to what gave humans the chance to develop into beings they are today, these are 2 quite large ones. As primates, we began to venture with the use of our feet. The brain grew larger to help the humans get acquainted to this new world on the ground. This brain also provided an expansive chamber to connect patterns and find solutions to problems, to find food and to survive in confrontation. And it was opposable thumbs that helped us act out our new thoughts by creating tools and traps that would help us survive. In partnership, it was the brain that gave us thoughts and these thumbs that helped us act out on them, creating further development in the human stimuli. Dawn of humanity. And now we enter a new stage of evolution, human creation. It is now for the first time on such a wide scale that instead of adapting to their environment, the organism changes the environment to fit their needs. With the creation of expansive shelters that house and defend thousands, and the creation of tools that would kill and temper things to our need, we humans held a savvy power no other creature has to our extent. With opposable thumbs and great brains, creativity struck its blow to the ecosystem. In a matter of 10,000 years, humans are near adapting the whole world to our needs as we harvest and change more of it. Threats arise today, but it's assured that thousands of years ago, our hungering for more resources and land was out of survival. As we adapted to the world, we now create for time for more than just surviving, but now a time for recreation, now a time for thought. Evolution of thought. With the Homo sapien now established, not just in the world but on land, colonizing and growing crop, we scrape the edge of a new frontier, a frontier still being explored today. With thoughts acted on, humans began to organize these thoughts into words on both tongue and slate. Sophistication in society grew, dividing us in order to organize us. Empires like the Greeks, the Romans, the Ottomans, and the Mongols, and the British rose and fell, all making their contributions to our world today. Movements of rebirth arose human aesthetics after times of upheaval, and movements of productivity and innovation carried us to where we are today. Should we curse the past or thank it? That question doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that it happened in all of our memories and all our pasts, and our thoughts will continue to evolve where we physically can't. The future. Now you may ask, what's ahead? After all these years of change, will it continue? Or will we see a grand change as humans enter a new frontier of what is life? The complicated answer is that this will be debated, and that there will always be disagreements for it. But there's a simple answer. The simple answer is that I don't know. That no one honestly knows. What is known is that evolution and our lives give us an experiment of full problems to face. It's not simply to solve problems that is life, but to discover new ones. And with that, I will leave you to explore more of our exhibits of the museum that has to offer. Good day.